And we're back with more exciting, all new man cave-ish, incredible hoax. I'm Chris.
I'm Mark.
If you're still with us after getting mad at us from the Democratic show, boy oh boy, are you in for it for the Republican show.
Now we get to rip the other side.
We get to rip the other side. Equal opportunity rippers.
Yes.
Set it up.
Okay, election 2016. What we're doing is, what does the Republicans need to do to have success in November?
We said three things for Democrats. Now it's three things for Republicans.
Now it's the Republicans' turn. All
Go
right.
for it, Daddy-O.
First thing, ensure a strong conservative base turnout.
Right.
You don't want to have 6 million people just not showing up to the polls that happened in 2012 because of whatever reason. 2, hammer the Democrats often on their failed policies of the last 8 years. And third, try to enlist the Cruz campaign staffers. They were so good with at the grassroots levels. See if you can hire some of them to also help with your grassroots for the national campaign in the fall. And that's it. There's our 3 suggestions.
So number 1 is one again. Let's go through them again. Number 1 is what?
Number 1 is about ensuring a strong conservative base turnout.
Now, how do you get that?
Now, first,
How does Trump get that?
well, step 1, I do have to admit, Mike Pence is your VP, who does have a strong conservative background. He's had success in Indiana. I do think he inherited a good situation from Mitch Daniels, the governor before that. But needless to say, he's maintained it, and also he passed a statewide, the largest in that state's history, tax cut. So he's got the credentials. I think that's a starting point, and I think you bring in Cruz on a few speeches here and there, maybe get an endorsement from him, since he still has a lot of supporters who are kind of sitting out or maybe a little still mad because of the contentious primaries. Those things can help. And I think maybe if Trump maybe added one other issue out there, he's strong on foreign policy.
Mr. Ron, he's got a low battery thing, so
yeah. He's been strong on foreign policy, of course, immigration.
Okay, we got it. So for the sake of time here, I think that the idea of catering too much to the conservative base, evangelical base, can be counterproductive. And for instance, I felt one of the things that really held back the Republicans for decades, really, has been your middle of the road people, and you'll never get the liberals, but the middle of the road people don't vote Republican because they're so they're against with the norm of what people are kind of going for. So, for instance, the culture has shifted to be more accepting of gays. The culture has shifted to be more accepting of minorities. Culture has shifted to be more open to different religious thought.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the abortion issue has pretty much been decided that this is a nation of pro-choice. Now, I might be pro-life, you might be pro-life, but the law has pretty much decided that. Mm-hmm. So when they keep hammering these social issues that the culture is pretty much shifted away from, and that only the evangelicals keep fighting for, yeah, you would gain the evangelicals. You would definitely be on that hill, but you're losing an ever-growing moderate secular population.
Yeah.
And they need to start transitioning to get in the more secular, which is just growing. Millennials are secular as hell. I mean, the millennials are, I don't know the data, but they've got to be overwhelmingly secular versus religious. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 5-1, or something like that.
Is, yeah.
I mean, it's not uncommon to have atheist millennials. It's very much the norm to have atheist millennials. So you got to start shifting away. We're talking from a political point of view. I'm not talking about my own ethics and morals, but from a political point of view. And I have hated that about the conservative Republican movement for years. I was like, oh my God, you keep dying on these hills that nobody else cares about. The things you're good at, focus on them, and they just keep harping on these things. I personally am pro-life, but it's done. The pro-choice guys won. I'm over it. You know, I'm gonna tell my kids and my family my opinion and try and coach them a certain way, but the courts have ruled. It's
Right.
it's law. So
Right.
I still say that they would do well to get more secular. I think the whole conservative movement would do well to get more secular. There's some great principles in there that just get lost on people because
I think they would benefit from, from a social point of view, adopt more libertarian views in that regard, which I think is still kind of in line with, I think, a lot of evangelical and conservative thought, if they really think about it. Ted Cruz, of course, a lot of his social issues lean libertarian. So I think, and then of course Rand Paul. So you had some candidates even recently who were taking your suggestion.
all right, we have 1 minute. Thoughts on Trump?
Thoughts on
I
Trump.
ripped Hillary.
Okay.
It's only fair that we say what we think about Trump.
All right. Well, I'll say this. Full disclosure, I am a huge Ted Cruz supporter. But at the same time, Trump he's now the nominee for the party. I really did not like the scorched earth campaign he ran because it got way too personal. That said, the guy is a fighter. I am convinced he is center right politically, which is far, far better than what we would get with Hillary. So I think at the end of the day, once I get over my anger, I'll be able to support Trump.
I haven't been this enthused about politics and a candidate since W's first presidential run. I love the attitude that Trump brings. It's more to me about attitude than policy, even. I mean, it is that he has me with the anti-political correctness. He has me with
that political correctness needs to die. It needs to go.
Die a horrible,
Just
gruesome death.
Go away. I'm tired of it.
And then the political correctness being banished would be awesome. And then being unabashedly pro-American. It would be nice to be able to be pro-American and not be looked down as some sort of a xenophobic piece of garbage.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about a veteran having to take his flag down on his front porch anymore. I'm tired of these stories.
All this
I'm sick of
revisionist
it.
on all this revisionist history crap where everything that America has done ever has been evil. It's just not true. It's just not true. Have we done screwed up things? You betcha. But to paint us as this evil giant, the millennials they're believing this crap, this vile crap. I'm done with it, and I love the unabashed pro-American stance of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I embrace it.
Yeah, and Trump's a fighter, which is more than I can say for 99.9% of the Republicans. So
There you go.
go Trump.
Adieu.